What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and this week we are previewing round 6, Port Adelaide versus West Coast at the Adelaide Oval for ANZAC round, 4:10 p.m. on Saturday. We've got the lovely Saturday twilight time slot to look forward to for this special clash, and it's a lot special for different reasons, but the main one is hopefully we can get our first win for 2022. So let's preview this game. It's a big game and a lot to dissect, so let's get straight into it. ANZAC round is one of my favourite rounds of 2022. In fact, it's my favourite round every single year, and unfortunately, due to footy commitments, I cannot attend this game, which is going to be such a shame because I love how we celebrate our ANZACs and really promote what is a great cause. And with the Peter Badco Medal Award at the end of the game, I'm almost certain it's going to be a special day for Port fans to be attending. And I know not many will actually go due to commitments, but also for the fact that we are 0-5, and it's quite a dire situation, and it's a kick in the guts for us fans. But this is the type of game you must attend throughout the year, regardless of how we're playing on the field. And to come up against a West Coast outfit that aren't in the greatest condition as well, proves to be one of the more dead rubber games of the round. But in saying that, it's a crucial game for Port Adelaide. This is the last chance for us to just kick off the season and still have that glimmer of finals hope. Because if we don't have that hope going into every single round of the proposition of playing finals, this season will fall away very, very quickly. And I don't want that to happen. We have a very good chance if we don't win this game to be 0-8, I reckon, after 8 rounds. So if you get a bit of momentum here, then you play St Kilda next week in Cairns, and then the Dogs at home. You just never know. So, but focusing on this game, first of all, I'm going to go selections, because I think selection has been crucial the last couple of weeks, and we got it right last week, I felt, on paper, but we just didn't do anything in the first half, and the second half looked a lot better. And with Ollie Wines being proven cleared and fit to play this week, there is a very good chance he does come back in, and I think there will just be the one change. I've been filming this as well prior to selection is announced, but I'm feeling Wines in for Jackson Mead. Mead has been okay; he's been serviceable, but a lot of players haven't been that great, and he's actually just been one that's done his deed, but hasn't really made that much of an impact yet, which I know he definitely will down the track. So I'm seeing that's the one change. I don't think there's a lot you can change physically with each player, because we played a fairly good second half, and that's the type of game style we want to play and how we want to play for 4 quarters of footy. Because if we play that for 4 quarters of footy, we're right up there with one of the best teams in the comp. And it's ironic that we're playing West Coast this week, because we're 0-5 against West Coast at the Adelaide Oval, and we're coming into this game 0-5. If that doesn't spell trouble, I don't know what does. We haven't beaten West Coast at the Adelaide Oval. West Coast have won one game this year, and they beat Collingwood, and that was a fairly good game of football. So we've got to be wary of them. Their performance last week against Sydney was pretty poor, but that's not to say we weren't poor either in that first half. So it's a likely matchup. It's a very good matchup, and the thoughts are it's a very nervy game, and I think we've got to be watching out for the midfield. Obviously with Luke Shuey, Yo, and no Gaff this week, but they've still got some serviceable players in there, and I really think with our midfield matchup, throwing in the young guns of Butters and Rosie, who played fairly good football last week, mix that with Boak and Wines if he comes back in, it's a pretty good mix that we just need to get right. They're not going to have Jeremy McGovern, which is a massive positive for our forward line, because we're not going to be, if we're bombing it in, we're just going to be kicking it to McGovern, whereas now bombing it in doesn't seem so bad in a sense, but also targeting Robbie Gray, who's fantastic one-on-one, as we saw last week with his great mark. So I'm still trying to get over how we mark that footy. There is 3 things I think we really need to tick off when starting this game of football, and that's the mentality of the group, coming in with a strong, fast start. If we can kick 4 or 5 goals in the first quarter, like we did against the Crows, I think that really sets the tone for the rest of the game, and actually continuing on that. At 4 quarters, yes, is the obvious one, and I'm going to keep mentioning it because we just need to keep pitching away at it. And I don't know what Ken's got in store. Like, I think he's very much running out of options, in which a lot of you guys are calling for his head. But look, if this game is lost, then his name is on the whiteboard. It's crossed out, and he's not going to get selected next week if you're a coach. But he'll be there. We're just going to stick at it round by round. And with this game, looking at how we line up and match up, there's no reason we shouldn't win this game. And I don't want to say that because I now think we're going to jinx it. But there's no reason we shouldn't win. Like, every game that we've played, we've been in besides... Well, even the Hawthorn game for a half we were in. That game was just blown out of proportion. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the team results. Like, we should be winning. Should have beaten Brisbane. We should have beaten Adelaide. We should have beaten Carlton on the weekend if we played more than 2 quarters of football. I'm just saying, 3-2. And this Luke Shuey came out and said, Port Adelaide could very well be 3-2, and it will look very different on paper. And the way we'd be handling this season would be very different. But we're sitting here, and alarm bells are going off because we're 0-5. ANZAC round against West Coast, a team we haven't beaten at the Adelaide Oval. It's a massive game, a massive turnaround. And to switch that and really just get that West Coast win and get that first win on the board, massive momentum changer for more than just the players, for the fans. You know, to have a win. Does it happen? I'm tipping Port Adelaide by 13 points. I don't think we're going to win well. I think we're going to win ugly. I think it's going to be one of those games that we just sit there and think, far out, should have won by 10 goals. But we take 13 points and we celebrate ANZAC round. Peter Babco, medalist as well. I'm tipping Travis Boak. You can't go past anyone else. So yeah, I'm backing that. I'm backing Port Adelaide to win. This preview to me is not really anything statistical. You're not going to look at the match facts or anything like that because we know what we're good at. We know how to deal with these situations. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it. And the players as well coming out into the media, doing their media roles and what they've done every single week. They come out and say, we're going to back it up. I don't even watch the press conferences anymore because they come out and say, we're going to back it up. We're going to win. We're going to respond. I'm sick of that word, respond. Show me. Show me a response. Don't tell me a response. Show me a response. Port fans, let me know in the comments below your thoughts of round 6, Port Adelaide versus West Coast. It's ANZAC round. It's a very special round to so many people. And I hope the ANZACs and everyone that has been a part of the ceremonies and the celebrations this weekend feel like they are welcome and feel like they are celebrated because they damn well deserve the respect. And I just wanted to mention one other thing. When we announced the beautiful Guernsey that Port Adelaide is wearing this week, the beautiful design, it looks simple and slick. Like, it's fantastic. And the little quote from Bob Quinn as well is absolutely beautiful. The disrespect shown to that Guernsey from people commenting, sack Ken, or why don't they actually implement that and the players actually do that? It's not the players wearing the Guernsey. Yes, they're going to be representing that quote and the Anzacs and everything it represents. But that quote stems from a legend, and you're disrespecting a legend when you're labeling it onto something else. It's got nothing to do with how the players are playing or what's been going on at the club and current day. This is the respect that we're showing to the Anzacs and everything that's happened previously, and to Bob Quinn, who's an absolute legend of Port Adelaide and football and everything in life, and a South Australian. So the respect's got to be shown. And I just wanted to mention that because I'm not in position to control anything that happens on social media. Everyone is free to have an opinion and mention these comments. But time and place, just get that right. And from there, we can celebrate what is a magical weekend. My favourite round, and I hope Port Adelaide do win for the sake of it. Thank you for watching, Port fans. Leave a comment below on your thoughts for this week's game. Let's hope there's no goal after the sirens or anything stupid like that, because I can't deal with any heartbreak or disappointment anymore. Just get Get a first win of the season, boys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way. You can follow me on all social media as well. My name is Anthony, and as always, can ThePear.